Warning: if you're looking for spine-chilling experiences, these are the towns you should avoid. The United States is home to some truly eerie places, and while you may expect the most disturbing ones to be in isolated areas, many are actually closer than you think. From ghost sightings to sinister histories, these towns will make you second guess whether you believe in the supernatural or if your gut feeling is the best indicator of danger. Let's explore these unsettling spots across America where you'd be wise to tread carefully. Number 10, Galveston, Texas. Known as the cemetery with a beach, Galveston has a dark past that still looms today. In 1900, a deadly hurricane wiped out thousands of lives, leaving behind a massive burial ground. The victims were often hastily buried wherever their bodies were found, with thousands of corpses left under what would later become the town's infrastructure. While the city rebuilt, it did so atop a mass grave. Though the mansions that survived the storm remain majestic, the air in Galveston is thick with the past, where ghostly figures are often seen in the old houses, strange noises echo through the streets, and whispers of long-dead souls seem to linger in the salty air. Visitors often report feeling a deep sense of unease, as if something or someone is watching. Number 9, Baltimore, Maryland. Edgar Allan Poe once called Baltimore home, and it's easy to see why. The city is rich with haunting tales, from the legendary invention of the Ouija board to Poe's own mysterious death. Baltimore's streets have seen their fair share of horror. Historic locations like Fort McHenry and Westminster Hall are forever tied to wars and executions. Leakin Park, with its grim reputation as the final resting place for many murder victims, adds a chilling note to the city's dark legacy. Over 80 dead bodies have been discovered there, making it one of the most dangerous and haunted areas in the city. But the eeriest site is Westminster Hall, where Poe himself is buried. Every year on his birthday, a mysterious figure clad in black leaves roses at his grave. A tradition that has continued for decades, but no one knows who the figure is. The city's underbelly of crime and tragedy only adds to the unsettling atmosphere. Number 8, Fall River, Massachusetts. Fall River is forever marked by the gruesome murders of Lizzie Borden, who, in 1892, allegedly hacked her parents to death with an axe. Despite her acquittal, the town's reputation remains forever tainted. The Borden house is still standing, now a museum, and visitors often report hearing footsteps or seeing apparitions of Lizzie's victims. But this eerie town has a history much darker than just one famous murder. The surrounding forests hide the whispers of old Native American ghosts, such as the spirit of Abram, a man who jumped to his death from a rock in 1675. Even more chilling, the area was the site of a satanic cult in the 1980s that murdered several women. Hikers in the woods have reported hearing the names of the victims being whispered by unseen forces, sending shivers down their spines. Number 7, San Francisco, California. San Francisco is a city full of contradictions. It's vibrant and modern, yet shrouded in mist and filled with a history of dark deeds. Angel Island, once known as the Ellis Island of the West, housed over 250,000 immigrants in unspeakable conditions before they could enter the city. Many died waiting for their chance to be free, leaving their stories etched into the walls of their barracks. And then there's Sutro Baths, an extravagant swimming pool that burned down mysteriously in 1966. The fire that claimed the building also left behind a dark legacy of death and mystery, as many human sacrifices are rumored to have taken place there. The Presidio, Alcatraz, and the infamous back alleys of Chinatown all contribute to the city's eerie energy, but the most unsettling place remains Alcatraz itself. Once home to some of America's most dangerous criminals, the prison still holds the spirits of its former inhabitants. Some say you can still hear the screams of the deceased, especially at night. Number 6, Chicago, Illinois. Chicago is known for its mobster history, especially during the Prohibition era, and it was home to one of America's most notorious criminals, Al Capone. But the city's dark past goes far beyond the infamous St. Valentine's Day massacre. H. Holmes's Murder Castle was a building designed to disorient and trap its victims, where strange hallways and hidden doors led to grisly deaths. Holmes confessed to at least 27 murders, but the true number is likely much higher, with some estimates placing the figure over 200. Beyond the horrors of Holmes's castle, Chicago is also haunted by the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. The blaze killed 300 people and left thousands homeless. But perhaps the most disturbing tragedy took place at the Iroquois Theater in 1903, where 602 people, many of them children, died when a fire trapped them inside. Today, the theater is still haunted, with many visitors hearing the faint sounds of children crying or laughing and feeling an eerie presence in the upper levels. Number 5. Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston is an old city with a sordid past. It was once home to pirates like Stede Bonnet, who was executed with 50 of his men in 1718. But Charleston's legacy of death doesn't end there. The old Charleston jail housed countless criminals, Civil War prisoners, and pirates, and it was the site of nearly 14,000 executions. Among the many sinister figures executed here were Lavina Fisher, America's first female serial killer, and Denmark Vesey, a free man accused of organizing a slave revolt. The jail itself is still standing today, and its dark energy is palpable. Charleston is also known for its eerie, overgrown graveyards and reportedly haunted inns. For the truly daring, the old slave mart, where human lives were traded like commodities, still stands as a monument to the city's grim history. Number 4. St. Augustine, Florida. St. Augustine might seem like a quaint tourist town, but its history is far darker than it appears. Founded in 1565, it is the oldest European settlement in the United States, and its historical sites are filled with tales of torture, imprisonment, and betrayal. Castillo de San Marcos, a fortress built on Native American burial grounds, was the site of countless atrocities, including the capture of Chief Osceola and his people. His severed head was sent back to St. Augustine as a grim trophy. But the dark energy didn't end there. During the 1700s, the Spanish built a hospital on these sacred grounds, performing gruesome medical experiments on Native American patients. The bones of countless victims were uncovered when the hospital burned down in 1818. To this day, the area is considered one of the most haunted in America, with reports of strange noises, apparitions, and ghostly figures lingering in the shadows. Number 3. Savannah, Georgia. Savannah is often called the most haunted city in America, and for good reason. Built on a foundation of death, slavery, and disease, it's a place where the past is very much alive. The city's cemeteries are filled with the bodies of Native Americans, slaves, and colonists, and many buildings sit atop these graves. Savannah's Factor's Walk, where cotton was traded and slaves were kept, is especially haunted, with reports of ghostly figures and anguished cries coming from the tunnels beneath the street. Even if you don't believe in the supernatural, Savannah's old buildings, Spanish moss-covered trees, and oppressive atmosphere will make you feel as though you're being watched. The city's haunted reputation only grows stronger at places like the Mercer Williams House, which was the site of a grisly murder. Number 2. Salem, Massachusetts. Salem's dark history is tied to the infamous witch trials of 1692, when 14 women and 5 men were executed under the accusation of witchcraft. But the most haunting tale comes from Giles Corey, a man who was pressed to death with stones for refusing to enter a plea. It's said that his dying curse has cast a dark shadow over the city, with many believing that the spirits of the wrongfully executed still haunt Salem today. The site of the hangings, Proctor's Ledge, has a palpable sense of dread, with visitors reporting a strange, oppressive feeling when they approach. Salem's history of guilt and horror is etched into the very ground beneath its feet, making it one of the most unsettling places in America. Number 1. New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans is perhaps the most haunted city in the United States, with an atmosphere that's both magical and menacing. The city is built on land that is constantly threatened by flooding, so its tombs are buried above ground in the city's many cemeteries. The most infamous haunted location is the LaLaurie Mansion, the former home of Madame Delphine LaLaurie, who was infamous for her cruel and inhumane treatment of slaves. After a fire exposed her horrors, she fled to France, but the mansion remains a place of dark energy. Visitors to the French Quarter often report hearing strange noises and feeling a cold presence in the air, and many believe the spirits of those tortured by LaLaurie still haunt the mansion. New Orleans' troubled past, full of tragedy, slavery, and bloodshed, makes it the most chilling of all.